different setting. So normally I shoot down in my basement, but I don't know, today's video felt more personal, and so I wanted to make it more personal, so I brought you up to the rest of my house. I just wanted to talk about my journey to becoming an ethical fashion activist. Maybe the way sometimes I like talk about things or offer advice, it can maybe come off like, I don't know, I like sprung from the womb as like a fully formed ethical fashion advocate. But that definitely was not the case. I, like most people in the world, I shopped fast fashion like all the time. Part of the Latina experience, for me at least, was clothes and fashion are very important, right? God forbid you leave your house without looking like completely put together. So fashion was always a thing in my house, but we didn't always have a lot of money to make that happen. And then as I got older, I had to pay my own way through college, so it's not like I had money then. And then when I graduated, I was an actor, so it's not like I had a lot of money then. So to me, spending money on fashion didn't make sense because I didn't have that money. So I totally shopped at Forever 21, and like if I had saved up money, like maybe I could splurge on Zara. So fast fashion was just how I always got dressed. And then in 2012, I read Elizabeth Klein's book, Overdressed. And that was a huge game changer for me because it was the first time that I realized that fashion was really problematic. And it was hurting the planet and it was hurting people. And after reading that book, I decided I wasn't gonna buy any new clothes for, I think I decided on like a year. And I did not make it a year, but I did make it like 8 or 9 months. And what I found for me was like going cold turkey like that was kind of like being on a crash diet. Like there was just no way that it was sustainable. Like there was no way that it would last. So after about 8 or 9 months, I started slowly buying clothes again. And I always felt really conflicted about it, but it was like, well, I needed clothes for auditions because I was still acting. I just kind of lived in this weird gray space of moral ambiguity that I didn't feel good about, but I didn't really know what else to do. And then right around that time, a friend invited me to a craft show because a friend of hers had just started a jewelry line. And what y'all may not know about me is I'm actually a knitter. I'm like obsessive about knitting. So she said craft show and I was like, I'm there. Like, yes, let's go. And her friend had just this like beautiful jewelry line, and I found this necklace that I really, really loved. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy it. And I was like, how much is this? She was like, oh, it's $75. And I was just like, excuse me? $75 for a necklace? Like, you're crazy. Like there was no way I would spend $75 on a necklace. Like I wouldn't even spend $75 on like a head to toe outfit, right? But then she told me the story behind the necklace. And the necklace was actually made by Ethiopian women who had children, were HIV positive, and had been kicked out of their village for being HIV positive, and they had kind of created their own community, and they worked with these women and created this jewelry line and were helping them to bring it to market. And then she told me that all of the beads on the necklace were actually made from melted down bullet casings. And like, I could not give my money fast enough to this woman. And it turned out that the brand, which is now like a pretty big brand, is Raven and Lilly. So if you don't know them, you should check them out. They're really wonderful. But that's what did it for me. That was the first time that I realized that not only was fashion problematic, but that there was another side of fashion, which was it can be used for good. And when I realized that, like, I was just hooked. Now, that's not to say that I like immediately quit fast fashion and just became this like perfect angel of ethical fashion. Like, no, not at all. So while I originally got into ethical fashion because of just how horrible fast fashion was, the thing that's actually kept me in it long term is the hope and the joy that I find in it. You know, to me, there's so much joy in knowing that I bought a bag that is supporting a group of artisan women in Guatemala. There's so much joy in knowing that I've upcycled a pair of pants that I have, and so I don't have to buy anything new, and I just saved like all of this carbon from being released into the environment. There's so much joy in buying apple leather because then I know an animal wasn't killed for what I bought. Like, it's really the joy that I feel. That's what keeps me going, and that's what keeps me motivated. There's so much bad news in the world all the time. It's really refreshing and really uplifting to be able to say, today I made a choice and that choice helped someone else. So that's my story. That's how I'm here. That's why I'm telling you guys, because I get so much happiness and so much joy out of this, and it just feels so right. And I want to make it easier on you to go down this path than it was for me. So I really, really appreciate you watching this and just listening to me ramble on about my life story. Yeah, let me know, where are you in your journey? Is there something that you need help with? Do you have questions? Like, please ask me in the comments. I would love, love, love to help you figure this stuff out, because I promise it's not as hard or as complicated as it might seem when you're first starting out. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.